50 секунд.
А тут аппарат-гейм же вроде есть, который позволяет вызывать еще одного или нет.
Может быть. Ну их типа по дефолту 2.
А их по дефолту точно? Нет, их 2. Да?
Не, 2. Так бы их 3 подрубали. А хотя третий бесполезный, на манреген.
Зато он, по-моему, от МТ скелется, там урон получает или что-то такое.
Ну это то, что они просто лица ломают, это факт, ну без всего. Просто ты их берешь в компании, даже когда играешь, не знаю, там, милишником каким-нибудь, они просто
там просто
убивают.
Из саппортов именно на вот этих фокусов один, который его вырубает вообще и усиливает его баф, а есть, который наоборот делают.
Так, все, началось.
As you may notice from our previous posts on the social media, the new season, The City of Aeterna, will be available from September 7th, 5 p.m. And in today's review, we'll introduce all the important updates and what we could look into in the new season. Introducing the new mechanic, new gameplay, new hero, and new outfits.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Ian. In addition to the new content of this season, we've also made a lot of optimizations to existing systems, things like crafting, endgame content, and a bunch of other stuff. These are adjustments we've made after considering feedback from the community. So we hope this will provide an even better gaming experience for everyone. Whilst you watch the live stream today, we have also enabled Twitch drops, so you can earn jagged primacrysts after this live stream. At the same time, all players will receive a limited edition portrait frame on the first day of the new season, so remember to log in September 7th to claim it. Now let's take a look at the season trailer to get a glimpse into the story of the City of Aeterna.
'Tis long ago that tale was told. So long ago I can't even remember our earliest days. Death once separated us, and thus we remain till the candle of soul called thee back. But my love, why take it all and consecrate to eternal kingdom? All that followed thereupon seems naught but nightmare. Our city reduced to ruins. Our people turned into monsters. Dearest, what be thy human
Какой-то дельф, да.
stubborn, ruthless, imperious, murderous. You said that we'd be together forever.
Хотя это Санктум, а не
Till
дельф.
death do us part.
Какой-то забытый какой-то город,
The city
любовь
of Aeterna has spread to Lapis.
между двумя
In the new
чувачками.
season, hunters will encounter and interact with the monument of Aeterna, then be guided to the edge of Aeterna, the ruins of Aeterna. In the ruins, hunters must complete challenges in allotted time, kindle candelabra for prizes, and obtain a mark of ruins, a vital component for hunters to rebuild the city of Aeterna that has the condition of all candelabra recorded on it. Various reward spots are scattered throughout the map. Hunters must stamp them with the marks of runes to create a passage before taking the prizes. They must make sure the marks of runes are connected and cover as many
Бывает
reward
синтез, да.
spots as possible for more prizes.
Точно, я только хотел сказать.
When the map is completely covered in marks, hunters will be able to enter the city of Aeterna they have rebuilt.
Да.
In the city, every stamped reward spot will turn into a candlelight of sacrifice. And hunters must get kinship firewood from the kings of Aeterna,
Ну и вот там
wandering the
духи
city to light the
эти
candlelight
летают
of
у
sacrifice.
персонажа.
Each candlelight of sacrifice has a chance to change into a candelabrum of sacrifice for hunters to get more and better prizes for completing the challenge. After completing all reward spots, hunters will be able to summon the final boss. Defeat the final boss to start the next round of rebuilding the city. The difficulty and drops of the final boss are determined by the sum of reward spots activated. In other words, the final boss becomes more powerful and more reward spots you connect. And the more powerful the boss, the more impressive the prizes. If you're lucky enough, you will chance upon special maps for a shot and more precious prizes from the rebuilt Aeterna. Enjoying the moment to the
Ну
fullest.
прикольно, чё, мне нравится.
The new season introduces a massive new talent panel.
Еще один Тетрис.
Songs of
Таланты.
which includes loads of season-related talent nodes. Hunters can collect pages of Aeterna in the city to piece the sums together to gradually unlock all talents of the season. Through the power of the sums, hunters can expand the map of the city and gain massive buffs and bonuses rewards, ultimately unlocking the infinite city of Aeterna. After the infinite city of Aeterna is unlocked, every time you clear the city will push it one step closer to reaching true eternity, making it even more dangerous. As the city becomes more dangerous, there will be more rewards too, and there's no limit to the city's tier.
Бля,
Who will
прикольно.
venture furthest into the Aeterna? We shall see.
Amazing. Thanks, Ian, for introducing the new and exciting season gameplay. So, as before, there's going to be a new Supreme Boss featured in the new season. Of course, the Lone King of Aeterna will be waiting for you at the end, watching everything you do in the city. When you dare face him, he will slay you without mercy. You can also find a special admission ticket, Queen's Wick, in the city of Aeterna. Use it to locate the Lone King of Aeterna in the Great Void. Defeat him and leave with treasures that have been hidden in Aeterna for thousands of millennia. But the story is still far from over. The new season will also introduce a brand new character progression system, Soul Candles. Upon exploring the city, you will get this new item, Soul Candle. Hunters need to equip Soul Candles in the skill panel, and they will nourish Hunter's soul and significantly improve
Вот это
skill
какая-то
effects.
дичь.
A Soul Candle usually has 1 to 3 affixes of random tiers.
Ну, еще два
You can
слота
fuse them to
получается.
upgrade, evolve, or even mutate that
На
affix.
каждом скилле
You
или...
can acquire a special item, Tier of Aeterna,
Не,
from
это-
monsters in the city. By spending Tears of
По-моему, это не на
Aeterna, you
скилле.
can fuse 2 Soul Candles. When fusing Soul Candles, affixes of identical effects and tears from the 2 Soul Candles will be fused into
Ну,
one.
синтез, ёпту
And the
мать.
remaining affixes will
Это
be
синтез.
either
Это
retained or
синтез,
discarded
да.
randomly. When
По-моему,
both Soul
слоты
Candles
просто
have the
были
same T1
менюшки с гемами,
affixes,
потому
the
что они не
fused
знали, куда их
affix
еще
has a
сунуть.
chance of evolving into a more powerful T0 affix with 1 guaranteed negative affix, and any T0 affix of the fused Soul Candle has a small chance of mutating into a rare special affix. Mutated affixes are very powerful, however they can also have serious negative impacts on you. Therefore, you must balance the power and the negative effects
Хотя вот
brought by Soul
мутировать это
Candles
уже
by
не
making the
синтез,
most
а
of the
это...
positive
Да, это
affixes
уже
and
сентинель.
avoiding the negative affixes, making the potent but dangerous Soul Candles to your
Ну,
advantage.
мне не нравится сам
Thank you,
концепт
Sean.
опять.
You're
Еще
pretty much
каких-то
covered all
итемок.
mechanic updates about the new season. But actually, there's one thing we haven't mentioned yet. The labyrinth is essentially a random map, because the route assembled each time is different, so the terrain you encounter inside is also different.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's true. We hope that you can try out this new gameplay for yourselves and be constantly coming up with new labyrinth combinations, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. Next up, we're going to introduce the new heroes and new hero traits.
Самое интересное, да? Новые герои и трейты. Что за вступление PlayStation 1? Че это?
Чипинг.
Sailor Moon какой-то, да? Выглядит пафосно. Мэйвен какая-то, да?
Iris, a spirit magus from the Shattered World, who, under Yoga's relentless persuasion, finally decided to join Torchlight. Iris can put Spirit Magus skills in active skill slots and create a breeze that gives Spirit Magi the nourishment buff to make them more powerful. They can also help Spirit Magi grow, change their forms and skills, and even increase the max number of Spirit Magi that can be summoned.
О, блин, прикольно.
Beyond that, Iris Nourishment can push Spirit Magi into the hyper state of Full Bloom.
Количество
Spirit
увеличилось.
Magi in Full Bloom will unlock an ultimate that can deal devastating strikes to enemies. Lead a squad of Spirit Magi in toppling powerful foes.
Alright, so the Forsaken Iris Growing Breeze will be obtainable through purchasing the season
будем
pass
иметь дело.
after the new season.
Ну, понятно, что герой будет за Battle
As for the
Pass.
new hero trait for this season, it goes to Frostfire Gemma. As Frostfire Gemma's third traits with a flame theme, I'm sure this
Третий
comes as no
спек для
surprise to anyone.
Геммы
Yeah,
будет.
let's hear about Gemma's story.
If Gemma never met Liv, she never would have learned to balance the power of fire and ice within her. When the frost heart guarding her was finally melted by a blaze, her life also took a turn. Gemma, Flame of Pleasure, will unleash a purgatory around herself and brand enemies within it. While dealing massive damage, she'll also torture them with death by fire for additional fire damage.
Ледяная была.
As Gemma, Flame of Pleasure grows,
Это
she
огненная
can
чисто,
baptize
да.
surrounding enemies in fiery agony by using death by fire to spread the damage recorded by Brand, or even has Purgatory follow her around and turn everywhere she goes into an inferno,
Ой, спам,
allowing her to
конечно,
bathe in the
пипец.
pain and suffering of her foes. Alright, so
Выглядит забавно, но это спам просто лютый какой.
Но огненная белка-то еще ярче.
Да.
And together with the new join of Iris, the spirit
Ну, их
mechanic
всегда
will
можно
also bring a
прозрачными
lot of
сделать.
differences.
Ну, можно, да.
Previously, players used spirits more as the buff bots, but for this season, spirits will have the potential to become a very powerful allies. The new mechanic for Spirit Magi's minions, Growth. Spirit Magi are no longer just simple buff providers, but powerful sidekicks that can grow and hold their own. Growth is a base attribute every Spirit Magus possesses that represents its current growth and does not decline naturally like Command. Accumulating a certain amount of growth will allow Spirit Magi to grow into the next stage, until they reach stage 5.
Покемоны, а?
Hunters can get growth through talent or gear to help Spirit Magi grow, in turn improving all their attributes and skills by leaps and bounds. And based on this mechanic, we revamped the skill system of all Spirit Magi. We will use Fire Spirits as an example below to introduce the growth of Spirit Magi. Fire Spirits have 3 skills: Base skill, Blazing Dance; Enhanced skill, Blazing Explosion; and Power skill, Blazing Whirl. At stage 2, a Fire Spirit's chance to use its enhanced skill will be increased. At stage 3, its enhanced skill will get a significant boost. At stage 4, its Empower skill will provide additional buffs to itself. At stage 5, it will get a stat boost across the board, increasing its damage, skill area,
А как его
movement
получать?
speed,
Просто
and travel.
пользоваться ими? Это из-за прокачки будет?
With the new changes to Spirit System, new skills have been added accordingly.
Фиг его знает.
Yeah, that's right. So there are 2 new
Непонятно.
active skills related to spirits now. Archery Bond is an all-new Empower Sentry placed to provide buffs to nearby allies by reducing projectile quantity but increasing additional projectile damage, attack, and cast speed. With the Bond of Archery's aid, your projectiles will travel faster and hit harder. Speed Phantom is an all-new mobility skill. Upon activation, the hunter will move in the specified direction while leaving a remnant at the starting point that keeps taunting foes. The remnant explodes after a few seconds to deal damage and inflict slow, as well as increase the hunter's spell damage and cast speed based on the number of enemies hit by the explosion. Nourishment of Life is an Empower skill created specifically for the Spirit Magi this season. Casting it creates a zone centered on and moves with the caster that increases growth for all Spirit Magi inside it. When growth is at stage 4 or above, a Spirit Magus
Ага, но гроф
skill
это,
area
короче,
expands
стат,
a
который
different
будет
Это
накапливаться.
temporary buff, ну точнее стат, да-да-да.
Dazzling Bloom is one of the skills created specifically for Spirit Magi this season.
В бою
Это
копится.
что-то типа ордера миньонского, по-моему.
Ну да.
То есть он у них, в принципе, пассивно может расти.
So, in the new season, we've prepared several brand new legendary gears for the hunters. Here, let me introduce 2 of the most distinctive pieces to you all. Eternal
Через 2
Elegy is a
недели.
mysterious necklace from the city of Aeterna. When equipped, the hunter will gain a buff called Solemnity as they channel in place, which increases the skill radius. When Solemnity's stacks reach the upper limit, the skill will add physical damage based on a certain amount of max energy shield and remove a certain amount of life and energy shield per second. This is a legendary gear tailored for stationary channeled skills. As you channel in place, you will gain a buff called Energy Storage, and the longer you channel, the greater the buff you gain from Energy Storage. When Energy Storage reaches its upper limit, you need to make a choice. Either continue to stand still to maintain the current high buff, or convert all stored energy into instant mobility. Those who greedily deal damage in place may be slapped to death by the boss. For every 4 channeled stacks, gain 1 stack of energy storage. Up to a
Всегда
maximum
будет
of 5
мобильный, ну,
stacks.
заряд.
When moving, consume all
Передвижение.
energy storage stacks. Hunters need to analyze the current battle situation
Ты достаточно
flexibly,
быстро
choose a
ченнелишь,
safe
можешь
position to
довольно
accumulate
неплохо
Solemnity stacks for high damage,
попрыгивать.
Просто прыгать с ним, да.
before danger arrives.
Начали что
Another
быстро.
legendary necklace is Iron Nest. As the name suggests, it makes the hunter's synthetic troop minions unable to move, but their duration is greatly increased. In addition, the command gained by the hunter per second will become the command lost per second. As the command decreases, the tactics of the synthetic troop minions will become more conservative. Of course, being conservative does not mean losing their sharpness. As the command decreases, Iron Nest will provide various bonuses to the synthetic troop minions, such as close range fire, taunt, aura effects, enlarged physique, increased multi-strike chance, and damage increment, allowing them to maintain their counter-attack power while adopting conservative tactics.
Что-то на
It's
суммонерском.
like the synthetic troops building a
Ну,
sturdy
странно,
and
конечно,
dangerous
Да.
iron nest with
Типа у
their
тебя миньоны
bodies,
двигаться не
protecting the
могут,
hunter
но
at the center of the nest.
бафуются.
In addition, we have added exclusive legendary gear for
Ну, ты
some
вот
story
на босса
bosses. For
нажимать
example, the
нормально.
legendary
но я
shield Eclipse
так
comes from our
сказал.
familiar evil dragon or drak. Eclipse will convert most of the hunter's elemental damage into fire damage and apply one stack of tenacity blessing when applying the curse. Don't worry, this is not helping the enemy.
Что это
Eclipse
такое,
will
блядь?
grant additional base effects to tenacity blessing,
Что
reducing fire
это?
resistance and max fire resistance.
Что за когти, что
At
за
the same time,
метеориты?
Eclipse also contains the hatred of the dragon descendants. When the hunter deals damage to an enemy with tenacity blessing, there is a chance to trigger the evil dragon's attack.
Что?
dealing damage and turning the target cold.
Это что это такое?
In addition to new content, we also pay close attention to your feedback on
Подозрительное
existing
какое-то.
content. In the new season, there will be numerous balance adjustments and optimizations. To make legendary gear even more special, we improved some of their effects. Take the legendary soldier goggles, for example. We make improvements across the board, including FX's visual effects, gold arena effects, and iconic buffs for clashing gladiators, renown and notoriety. When equipped with the legendary soldier goggles,
Ну, и visual
hunters can
effects мы
create
уже
a gold
увидели, да.
arena when casting a mobility skill while knocking back all non-elite opponents nearby, before unleashing renown and notoriety on both sides to begin an exciting duel. For improvements to other legendary gear, please check out the patch notes that will be released later. In the cube of our past day season, we noted some existing hero traits were not strong enough for dangerous challenges in the late game, and therefore, we made some adjustments to certain hero traits. In the new season, the benefits
Пиздец,
of
Гемми.
Carino,
Ой, пиздец,
Ranger of
это-
Glory, Special Ammo,
Не,
Те-
он говорит наоборот, некоторые
and
подклассы
Yoda's
были
Space-Time
достаточно
Illusion and
сильными.
Twisted Space-Time are now affected by spell skill level bonuses. Also getting hero traits adjustments are Carino, Lethal Flash, and Thea, Wisdom of the Gods. You can check out details in the patch notes.
Это мы потом
Хотя бы
почекаем.
We will continue to
Все
improve or
трейты
even
как-то
remake
у Карина
older
не очень,
heroes
да?
and hero
Ну
traits,
да.
optimizing them for better gaming
Ну, Lethal
experience,
Flash
rather
еще
than
более-менее
neglecting
был,
them
ладно.
in the light of new heroes and hero traits.
Да и у Юги, в принципе.
Regarding value calculations,
Югу Кастер,
Yuga
кстати, норм был.
To avoid inflated
Кастер
values,
стал
we
получше,
revised how
когда они
affixes
добавили
are
ему вот это
calculated.
вот Unleash.
Bonuses provided by the
Boost.
same affix are adding together, while bonuses provided by different affixes still multiply. For example, when you have the plus X% attack speed for every stack of Tenacity Blessings affix, the attack speed bonus provided by each stack will be added together. But if you also
Мне,
have
в
the
принципе,
plus
нравится, что
10%
они Юги
additional
иллюзионисту
attack speed
написали.
affix, the bonuses
Там
of
теперь
the two
со
affixes will be
И
multiplied.
левелом будет скейлинг
We made
какой-то.
large-scale
скорость
changes
каста
to
иллюзий
crafting in the
повысится.
cube of our past day season.
По-моему,
Combined with
достаточно.
all the players' feedbacks, we realized that there are still many problems with the current crafting system.
Yes, right, exactly. So here's what we've got. To begin with, the performance of crafted items is much too inferior to certain
Craft.
core legendary gear. Also, the availability of certain base materials way too scarce, whilst restrictions of plasticity increased the consumption of those base materials, and the affixes are randomly generated in targeted processing, which kind of complicates the process and makes the cost differences for crafting different accesses kind of unreasonable.
Yeah, and to address those issues, we revised the rules for prototype crafting and targeted processing as below. During prototype crafting, you must lock 1 to 2 affixes on the gear for re-randomization. When one affix is locked, the gear will be randomized into a piece of prototype gear with 4 fixed affixes without costing any plasticity. When 2 affixes were locked, the gear will be randomized into a piece of prototype gear with 5 fixed affixes. An affix upgrade feature has been added to prototype crafting. You can spend Flame Element TM and Plasticity to upgrade an affix. And by
О,
spending Ultimate Embers, you can upgrade a Tier 1 affix to Tier 0. But doing so will randomly remove another affix on the gear
Теперь ты,
and
по сути,
reset the
можешь себе
gear's
сделать
plasticity to 0.
шмотку, кидая в
And
нее
of
деньги.
course,
Да.
zero plasticity can still be
Причем тир
upgraded
0.
from tier 1
Нихуя
to
себе.
tier 0.
Даже не
During
тир 1.
targeted processing, you can directly add specific affixes to a piece of gear, and the tier of these affixes will be random tier from tier 0 to tier 6.
А потом с деньгами закидать его.
Rare affixes
А потом
such
еще и
as
засунуть
plus 2
Да.
spell
еще
skill
много
level have a
денег
chance
нужный
of
стат.
failing in targeted processing.
О,
Targeted
блядь.
processing will no longer
Вот это
carry
уже
the
нормальная
risk
карта,
of
даже если он много стоит,
meaning
теперь
Да.
ты
targeted
хотя бы знаешь,
process
что
gear
результат
cannot be
тебе
used for prototype
достанется.
crafting up to reforging. The upgrade feature allows Hunter to make superior prototype gear
А не вот
more
это вот
consistently
50
through prototype
фишек
crafting.
покидал, нихуя не
The
получил,
inclusion
пошел
of tier
дальше
0
бегать.
Да.
affixes also greatly boosts prototype
Ну там
gear's
цены
power
вон
and a
нормальные,
sense of
видел,
surprise
60,
during
100.
prototype crafting. The affixes added in targeted processing no longer require RNG, which increases the chance of crafting the gear you want significantly. We hope these changes will bring a more reliable and delightful crafting experience to hunters. Furthermore, non-legendary gears will no longer be able to be corroded again.
Но
To improve the
звучит
potency and
more
worth of
delightful.
non-legendary gear,
Мгм.
we improved their affixes, deleted most of the useless filters, such as defeat enemies to gain blessings, blessings duration, etc. Adjusted the availability of defense affixes like block, regain, armor,
всё-таки вкусно.
evade to make them more
тир
relevant,
0.
and added powerful new summer, blessing, barrage, terra, beam affixes. To make survival mechanics easier to understand and make the
Fuck.
progression curve smoother, we modified the rules for survival progression. We have revised the calculation formula for the damage reduction provided by armor, making the damage reduction rate a fixed value that no longer changes based on the damage received. Armor now works more consistently and is easier to grasp. Meanwhile, in the new season, armor also works against other types of damage
Вот теперь
besides
против
physical
всего урона
damage,
работает.
Против,
though
да.
at a lower rate. Similarly, evasion is now
Понятно.
effective against spell damage, though at a lower value as well. In the
Теперь
previous
evasion
season,
против
defensive
столов
skills proved to
работает
be
без...
powerful.
Без
Therefore,
кейстоуна.
we cut down on the
Мгм.
availability of the defense skill effect
А что
affixes
талант давать
and
будет?
changed the effectiveness
Ну,
of
еще
these
больше.
affixes. Meanwhile, we increased their default coverage. We hope these changes can balance the various defensive stats,
В любом
improve
случае,
the
это
worth
классный
of
баф.
armor invasion,
Дефенсов
and
очень
help
не
you face
хватало.
the challenges in your defenses. Last, we made the following changes to divinity slates. For this season, there's a chance for medium talent nodes to be upgraded to rare ones during branding. Moreover, any talent nodes, even a blank talent node, has a chance to get upgraded to a new god talent node. When branding fails, a random talent node in the divinity state would change into another talent node of equal power level. Of course, you can revert it to change as usual. We hope the new rules can improve the current bland experience of branding, adding more surprises and diverse
Что-то я не
results to the
понял, ладно,
process, as
почитаем.
well as helping hunters to get the talent nodes they want easier.
Да, там...
Okay,
Ну,
so
какое-то.
considering that the NetherRealm gameplay is going to be adjusted,
видеоряду
I feel that a
непонятно
lot
было,
of
что
players
поменялось.
might have
Да.
some doubts. The main reason for adjusting this is to make it easier for everyone to loot.
Yes, the original Chaos Invasion has many advantages. It encouraged players to farm different stages, lets
Ну,
them
насчет...
customize their
старый
loot
крафт мы
preference
переделаем
and
под старый
experience
крафт,
of excitement
но зато
of
теперь в
stacking
это
cards
денег
effect
надо
and
будет вливать
contests
прям
for
в огонь,
massive
походу.
loot, and makes obtaining loot and farming as strategic as fun as building a build. But at the same time, we have also noticed many problems it has.
The effect of the
Хекс,
cards
не
stack
курса.
up, and the
Курса
vast
не
majority
хекс.
of loot is dropped in the final 1 or 2 maps where cards and
Не
compasses
забывайте.
are almost fully stacked, which means when you don't
Хекс
have
это
or
вообще
are
из доты.
unable to draw the key card combo, trying to finish a round becomes a futile exercise. The cards dealt could vary a lot from round to round. To ensure a return, you must constantly change your farming routes based on the cards you draw, which brings a continuous burden to the long farming process. And also, combining cards, compasses, and high-valued maps can bring a huge amount of returns. But the prices of compasses and maps fluctuates with market prices, which means when hunters fail to execute the best strategy, it's kind of like they're getting punished.
Так, и что вы делали с этим?
Earnings, or even
Да,
all of their efforts might be
правильно
in vain.
говоришь.
Yes, and that's why we want to make the drops of Netherrealm more intuitive while retaining the
тоже
fun of the
интересно.
trade cards, reducing the burden for hunters and lowering the risk they have to bear when farming, and thus we made the following changes to Chaos Invasion.
At the beginning of each round of Chaos Invasion, trait cards will not be drawn. Instead, every trait card in the deck will take effect in all maps within the region. The new rules not only ensure the strategic deck building experience, but also greatly reduce the risk posed to hunters by drawing cards. Consequently, we have also made adjustments to the effects of all trait cards to make their strength more consistent with permanent standards. After removing RNG from the drawing of trait cards, we hope to provide more surprises for hunters through Chaos cards. In this season, the effects of Confusion cards have been greatly enhanced. When the time mark is activated, several cards will be drawn from the Confusion card library and placed in that area. Hunters need to choose the Confusion card, clear the corresponding stage, and accumulate progress. When the progress is completed, a very powerful effect will be added to the stage where the Confusion card is located. In the new season, different decks and cards will be available in various time marks and regions, allowing hunters to challenge time marks in regions that best suit them. In addition to Chaos Invasion, we also made adjustments to the gameplay and compasses in Netherrealm. Since the 6 Gods gameplay is the most basic and common gameplay in Netherrealm, we want its experience to be consistent and attractive. So, we have replaced the random rewards of 6 Gods with fixed universal rewards to prevent hunters from losing their expectations for rewards due to receiving random low-value rewards. Meanwhile, we have removed the majority of compasses and only kept those that are necessary for specific gameplay. In the new season, these compasses will be listed in the shop at a fixed price to prevent any gameplay strategies from becoming unavailable due to market fluctuations. After removing the compasses, we have introduced new Netherrealm difficulty levels to replace the difficulty and additional drops brought by the compasses. The first thing that should be noted is that in order to enrich the combat experience of hunters in Netherrealm, we have changed the difficulty of the Netherrealm Space-Time Turbulence to Time Mark 8. We have added new difficulty levels to Netherrealm time marks, adding 2 marks to the original Time Mark 7 and 4 marks to Time Mark 8. In these new marks, enemies will become more dangerous, and the number of drops within stages will also increase. Unlike using a compass, challenging new difficulty levels does not require additional items. Please choose the areas you wish to challenge wisely based on your own strength. We have also added a special mode called Deep Space to Time Mark 8. Deep Space is unlocked at Time Mark 8 and later. Hunters will need to spend specific beacons to access the Netherrealm stages in Deep Space mode, and of course, they will receive more abundant rewards as well. So, during the Cube of Rapacity season, we noticed that the frequently appearing affix skills at Time Mark 8 were causing significant performance strain on a lot of players' devices. So, to address this issue, we have specifically designed affix skills for the Netherrealm stages at Time Mark 8 to assure they appear in appropriate locations, right? And provide enough pressure for hunters during their progression, whilst at the same time removing the pressure on their devices.
Exactly. And also, hunters often need legendary gears to aid them in battles, but powerful legendary gears is often in short supply. And therefore, we have added a new way to obtain legendary gears, the blueprint system. By collecting a certain number of legendary gear blueprints, you will be able to craft the corresponding legendary gear in your inventory. Blueprints will be available as drops in the new season, enriching hunters' means of obtaining legendary equipment.
О, вот это хорошо. А откуда оно падает, интересно?
So, the Invincible Mark 2 is a great way for hunters to improve, right? Behind every great player, in fact, there are countless Invincible Mark 2s getting absolutely destroyed. But we discovered some issues after reviewing Invincible Mark 2's work in previous season.
Yes, the DPS we had before is an important indicator for measuring the strength of a build, but it's not the only one. We do not want our hunters to be fixated on pursuing high DPS and overlook other equally important indicators such as survival. In the new season, the max DPS Invincible Mark 2 can display is 99.9 billion, which is enough to clear anything and everything this season. Moreover, the level of hunter's current survival will also be shown.
We improved the user experience of Trade House as follows. We have added a global search feature to Trade House, making it easier for hunters to find items. Items listed, removed, and purchased in the Trade House will be automatically locked to prevent hunters from making inadvertent mistakes. We have increased the max collection pages by 10 pages, so hunters can now put more desired items in their collection. The search feature of Trade House now supports filtering by affix tier, making it easier for hunters to quickly find gear that suits them. The condition search results include any item in the condition group is automatically added when using advanced search. We have added a feature to enable and disable condition groups, making it easier for hunters to search for their desired items. A price checking feature has been added to the tips of Trade House, making it more convenient for hunters to inquire about item prices. A criteria search button is added to the tips of development items in the trade house. Click on it to go to advanced search and auto-check the corresponding basic criteria. We're changing highlight prices to price filter, which can save the filtered prices of different items. Hunters can now search the base affixes of corroded gear.
О, да
We
ладно.
hope these improvements will bring a better trade house experience to hunters.
Имплисит
In
карапченый
the
можно
Cube of
искать,
Opacity
ладно.
season, hunters
Вообще много
successfully
всякого
repelled
Ну
the
да,
malice
много
incarnation
полезного.
that has spread throughout Lepsis, but the power of the cube has not gone away completely. In the new season, the Avarice code will be reset, and there is still a chance for hunters to encounter the cube in Netherrealm. Beat the Malice incarnation, win rewards from the cube, and use its power to make yourself
Так,
stronger.
блядь.
We have always been committed to improving the gaming experience for hunters. In the previous season, we noticed that in certain extreme
Code of Avarice
situations,
резет это хорошо,
hunters
конечно, но
would
вы же, сука, не
encounter
сделали
lag
там
that
1200
Конечно.
карт
would
опять,
affect the
чтобы
overall
его полностью
game
обратно
experience.
прокачать.
For this season, we optimized display strategies of special effects, damage calculations, ammo creation, and loot drops to significantly improve the game's frame rate.
Вот
and
это да,
performance
было бы
consistency.
хорошо.
All
На
in the
Т8
hopes of
особенно.
providing you with a smoother, better gaming experience.
А чё намутили-то? Ну пока что все, что показывает, мне
The new
очень
season
нравится.
will introduce 3 new
Да.
legendary pack spirits: Scale of Original Sin, Abyssal King Soul, and Monument Knight. Scale of Original Sin's ability is to enhance the combat capabilities related to Spirit Magus. Abyssal King Soul is to enhance
Крафт,
damage over time.
Типа крафт
and
вернули
loot
обратно на
And
аукционе,
Monument
какие-то
Knight is to enhance
импрувменты.
the hunter's loot
Вот.
efficiency in the
Вроде
city of
как
Aeterna.
нормально
Season
выглядящие два
exclusive
сабкласса.
gameplay.
Хрен знает.
Purchasing the Ultimate Season Pass will
Еще
unlock
и
the new
доступность
hero,
легендарок
Forsaken
теперь будет
Iris, as well
больше.
as Portal, back accessory, footprint, and one-handed axe outfit appearances. Cat Eye has 2 swimsuits, while Moto and Iris not only get their own
Какая
advanced
красивая.
outfit, but also provide new outfits for their beloved minions and Spirit Magus.
Куклу
That's all for
заблочили
today's
опять, да.
season preview live stream. In fact, there are still many other
Не, ну
contents that we
заблочили
haven't
на
introduced
100
to you yet,
миллиардах,
but
так
this
что.
will be discovered in the season patch notes, including balance and battle adjustment that most our players pay
100
attention to.
миллиардов, оно
Yeah,
действительно...
that's right. And in
А
fact,
там не
if
миллионов
updating
было?
so many
Миллиардов, да?
contents for
Не-не-не,
each season
миллиардов.
is still a
Миллион.
really big challenge, no matter whether it's devs or operations.
Я просто на
We're
циферки
working on a
смотрел.
really tight schedule for us to-
Ну,
our
Где
job is
подвох?
super
Этого
clear.
хватит на весь
We hope
контент.
to continue to
Знаю,
enrich the
почитаем,
game
Дев.
content, improve the game experience through each successive season update, and strive to make the most fun loot-based ARPG.
Yeah, we hope to continue to receive your support in the upcoming season and welcome you to discuss and provide
У меня такое
feedback on
впечатление,
the
что
game
я не
content
зря
from the
опрос
community.
заполнял.
Thank you all for
Который там
watching the
вылезал
new season
целый.
preview and the new
Ну я
season
тоже
start
завожу постоянно
officially
фидбэк как
on
бы туда.
September 7th, 5 p.m.
Помнишь
Look
же, они
forward to
тоже
exploring
опять
the
делали
Да.
season
вот
Aeterna
по
with
разным
you all.
разделам. Ну
See
и
you in the new
видно, что
season.
они, в
See you.
принципе, по этим разделам и прошлись и сделали.
Да. Ну, как и в том сезоне, собственно, когда я такой, о, а это мы просили, и это мы просили, типа, и все сделали. И сейчас то же самое опять, да. Я смотрю,
да,
они...
что-то от себя делают всякое бешеное иногда, но хотя бы
Типа,
прислушиваются.
Крафт, если я все понял правильно, как оно было, то крафт теперь жив и очень хорош.
Только
Да.
он очень дорогой будет, типа на
Ну,
продажу ты вряд ли будешь крафтить там.
Хуй с ним.
сильно
Деньги
много.
это не проблема. Деньги это то, зачем ты в игру в эту играешь. Ну, в
Ну,
в плане
ты
валютка,
себе
да.
сможешь скрафтить.
Да, вот тебе
Короче,
хочется вот те самые вещи, которые были там в первом-втором сезоне, и ты их сделаешь. Все, ладно, на
Теперь
это.
ты просто фешки, собственно, собираешь, кидаешь их в шмотку и получаешь шмотку,
Мгм.
которую тебе надо.
Ну и типа не тратящиеся пластисити при первых прокрутках вещи, когда у тебя один стат залоченный, там вот это вот все, это тоже очень хорошо. Ладно, мне все понравилось. Пойдем читать патчноты.
Возможность апгрейдить тиры просто за фешки тоже ничего.
Мгм.
То есть ты, по сути, можешь поймать какие-то там третьи, условно, да, и просто накидать туда денег. Какой у них там чат интересный был.
Я не видел. Орк какой-то. Кто-то пернул что-то еще.
Это, по-моему, не орк, а фраг был. Или мне показалось. Вот с надписью «Гандон».
Наши там кто-то что-то ебался. Понятно, ну. Так, ладненько. Давайте смотреть, что
реально.
в патчнотах.